Alright, now I'm going to quote you some early Christian literature from the church fathers, you know, these people before Nicene Creed. So these are the men who compiled and gave us, you know, the Bible as we have it today. And these were people actually living also before them. So these are recognized in Christianity as men of God. And Tertullian, what he says about plural marriage, this is in the book called Tertullian, Exhortation to Chastity, Ante-Nicene Fathers, chapter 6, verses 53 and verse 54. And let's see what Tertullian says here. As I think, moreover, each pronouncement and arrangement is the act of one and the same God, who did then indeed in the beginning send forth sowing of the race by an indulgent laxity granted to the reigns of connubial alliances, until the world should be replenished, until the material of the new discipline should attain to forwardness. Now, however, at the extreme boundaries of the times has checked the command which he had sent out, and recalled the indulgence which he had granted, not without reasonable ground for the extension of that indulgence in the beginning, and the limitation of it in the end. So, Tertullian's perspective is strikingly similar to Jacob 2, verse 30, in which monogamy is the norm, but God may command exceptions to raise up seed. So, doesn't seem very evil. Okay, next one is Justin Martyr, and this is from Dialogue with Threefold in Ante-Nicene Fathers, chapter 1, verse 270. And this is the quote from Justin Martyr. Just before the quote, Justin Martyr, he argued that David's sin was only in the matter of Uriah's wife, and echoed a common early Christian idea that marriage was a mystery or sacred rite of the type which the Latter-day Saints associate with temple worship. So here's the quote. And this one fall of David in the matter of Uriah's wife proves, sirs, I said that the patriarchs had many wives not to commit fornication, but that a certain dispensation and all mysteries might be accomplished by them, since if it were allowable to take any wife or as many wives as one chooses, and how he chooses, which then men of your nation do over all the earth, wherever they sojourn, or wherever they have been sent, taking women under the name of marriage, much more would David have been permitted to do this. So Justin saw the patriarchs' marriages not as corruptions or something which God winked at, but acts with significant ritual and religious power. So there you go. Okay, then is Augustine. And this is from Philip's Cuff, editor, Nicene and Post-Nicene Fathers, Series 1, Augustine and Chrysostom, volumes 1 to 14. This is New York Christian Literature. All right, and Augustine, before the quote, even Augustine, a towering figure in Christian theology, held that polygamy was not something that was a crime before God, but rather a matter that depended more upon cultural biases. Now, this is the quote from Augustine. Again, Jacob, the son of Isaac, is charged with having committed a great crime because he had 4 wives. But here there is no ground for a criminal accusation, for a plurality of wives was no crime when it was custom, and it is a crime now because it is no longer the custom. There are sins against nature and sins against custom, and sins against the laws, in which then of these senses did Jacob sin in having plurality of wives. As regards nature, he used the women not for sensual gratification, but for the procreation of children. For custom, this was the common practice at that time in those countries, and for the laws, no prohibition existed. The only reason of its being a crime now to do this is because custom and the secular laws forbid it. So, that kind of echoes the Mormon theology as well. The Mormons stopped practicing polygamy because the United States made laws against it. So it doesn't seem like the early church fathers who gave you the Bible had anything against that. They would not be condemning the Mormons either. So why are the evangelicals and the other anti-Mormons? They're not very biblical or Christian in this matter. So you choose for yourself. But I've given enough evidence now to support the Latter-day Saint view as not sinful at all.